We are live video streaming every morning on YouTube. Make sure you find us, The Monty Show. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. We're new to YouTube, so what are we, 110 followers now, I guess?
Subscribers.
Subscribers? God, friggin' dirt! 110 subscribers on YouTube. And we really appreciate that. Because every time you follow or subscribe, I did it again. Every time you subscribe, every time you subscribe to us on YouTube, the channel grows. Every time you hit the thumbs up, the channel grows. So we really appreciate that. The Monty Show on YouTube. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson, the now quarterback of the Houston Texans, who yesterday officially demanded a trade. And he did that because they hired a white head coach and didn't ask his opinion. And I think, Jake, this is becoming a trend in sports. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks want input on who they're going to hire as head coach. They want input on who their offensive coordinator is going to be.
Yep.
But Deshaun Watson's in a different place than Russell Wilson, who said he wants input on who his offensive coordinator was going to be.
Right.
Is Deshaun Watson wrong for demanding a trade?
No, I don't think he's wrong. I think how are you going to tell someone wrong for their beliefs? Like who is anybody to tell anybody that they're wrong based on what they believe? You know, I think Deshaun is uniquely qualified to do this and take, because in the NFL, anytime you kind of like, you know, go against the grain, you go up against upper management, you do those kind of things. I mean, it is a potentially a career hurting move. Like, you can hurt your career doing it. Now, Deshaun is someone who's in extremely high demand and knows that he's got that leverage over the Texans, and so he can ask for a trade and not sweat it, you know? So I agree with what he's saying. I think the Texans handled this whole thing, like, really poorly, and I would not want to go and be a Houston Texan, honestly. Like, I wouldn't. Why would you go to an organization that clearly, you know, doesn't listen to their star players, isn't really about winning? They're not. They're just this organization that just sort of exists. So I think if I'm Deshaun, yeah, I would have asked for a trade as well, and I'd be trying to go somewhere where I can actually win. That's what I'd be trying to do.
Yeah, and I think the leading place right now, I'm not from Deshaun Watson's perspective. The best fit for Deshaun Watson right now in the NFL is easy, it's simple, it's clear. It's the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, they have a situation with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy
Garoppolo. They have a situation with Jimmy Garoppolo where he's not met expectations. He has not performed, certainly at a level of the Patriot way. He did not perform the way I think that most 49er fans and really 49er brass would have hoped.
Right.
The knee injury was significant. He's got an injury history. And frankly, Deshaun Watson is on another athletic level than Jimmy Garoppolo is. Mm-hmm. I think Deshaun Watson has few equals in the NFL. Now, quarterbacks I would take over him, yes, I'm still taking Tom Brady. Yes, I'm taking Justin Herbert.
Over Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Dude, you're high, bro.
I think a year from right now, Justin Herbert has a chance because he's working with Tom House and he's obviously putting in the effort in the offseason. They had a coaching change and the voices will change in his head. I think Justin Herbert has a chance a year from now to be arguably the best quarterback in the NFL.
That may be true, but he's never going to have the athleticism that Deshaun Watson has. And I'm not going to say never because he will be a 4,000 or 5,000 yard passer. That'll happen, but that's not right now.
He already is, right? I mean, he
maybe
already
he is. I don't know. I'm just telling you. I'm not. That's too much. I disagree.
What is too much?
To say that Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. There's no way I'm saying that.
I think you are going to be hard pressed. He is a rookie who threw for 4,336 yards and 31 touchdowns.
I'm sure he did. That's great.
And Justin Herbert only threw 10 interceptions. Mm-hmm. You already have a guy that functions at a very high level, and he had mediocre coaching doing it. Mm-hmm. And now the San Diego, LA playing the Rams Stadium Chargers have made a complete change in their coaching staff. This guy's only going to get better. And he's in the guru of quarterback coaching with Tom House. He's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at Deshaun Watson, I don't know if he gets exponentially better. Is it the question about Deshaun Watson, and I think it's a hard one to answer. Is he at his ceiling right now?
No.
Because
I don't think
okay,
he is.
so if you don't think he is, where does he get better?
He gets better when he's got better talent on the field to throw to. That's when he gets better. When he's got better options and a better offense who actually want to win games. That's where he gets better. So instead of having to throw to Will Fuller, who's hurt all the time, he's going to be able to throw to, guys who actually like have been there and done that and have won games before, and so yeah, sure. I don't even disagree that Justin Herbert's going to be a great quarterback, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he's somehow better than a guy in Deshaun who has played on you want to talk about playing on a bad team. He's been on a bad team for a long time.
4,823 yards for Deshaun Watson this year, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got the numbers, yeah. But I think more than the numbers, it's like it's the intangibles. Like we're not talking about a guy who we're not talking about Deshaun the same way we're talking about like Lamar Jackson as an example. Deshaun's game is not limited like that.
Right, but I think there's a lot of people who think that Deshaun Watson has to run. He doesn't. He runs by design. If you look at his run pass statistics and his ratios,
yeah.
Deshaun Watson is a pass first quarterback. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson can't pass at all, so he has to run. Mm-hmm. He is a run. Think about passing, but I'm going to run while I think about passing quarterback. Mm-hmm. I mean, with all due respect to Lamar Jackson's athleticism, because he's a superior athlete, he's just not a very good quarterback.
Yeah, they only got by the Titans because he was able to run for that touchdown, not because he threw.
I would agree with that. And I think the interesting thing is, I think there's a lot of people who even to this day will tell you that you have a guy in Deshaun Watson that's got incredible upside. I don't know how much better he can get.
Well, numbers-wise, he's in a place where it's almost impossible. Do you have his completion percentage there this year? Like, is he in the high 60s? Where is he?
70.
So he's even over 70 for completion.
He had a career year. Dude, Deshaun Watson had a career year. He had an elite season.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean,
started all 16 games for the first time in his career.
Dude, everybody's blowhard over Aaron Rodgers this year and that he's an MVP. I mean, what is this guy doing, dude? I mean, seriously. Like, Aaron Rodgers' numbers are right in the 70% completion percentage. Aaron Rodgers may have a better touchdown-interception ratio. Sure, okay, I can get down with that. But I don't know, man. I think Deshaun's always been undervalued. I think, when you ask the question, where can he get better? Hey, you're taking a 5,000-yard passer who's got a great completion percentage, and you're putting him on a team that's well-coached and has been to the Super Bowl already. That's where he's going to get better.
My feeling is, and this is just my opinion, my feeling is Deshaun Watson ends up in the NFC because they're not going to trade him in the AFC.
Yeah, I have a tough time thinking that too.
That's why I think he won't go to Miami.
Yeah.
I could see Jacksonville with Urban Meyer. I could absolutely see Carolina, although I think Carolina's got a lot of issues because I don't like Matt Rule as a head coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how if you are the Jets or the Patriots, you're not making that call. But again, Cal McNair is a real piece of work, the owner of the Texans. I don't think he'll trade him in the AFC. Mm-hmm. So I think there's two teams in the NFC that would desperately like him. San Francisco 49ers and the New Orleans Saints. I think those two teams, although I have a hard time believing that Houston is going to make a trade with New Orleans because they're essentially neighbors.
Right.
I mean, geographically speaking, it's not a stretch for a Houston Texan fan to become a New Orleans Saints season ticket holder.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't see that happening. So it really narrows it down to two NFC teams, and not because I'm from Chicago or a huge Bears fan.
It's frustrating that they're not being more aggressive with it.
I think they are. I think they're into it. I think the Chicago Bears realize that they have to go and get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think they'd like not to draft one because they can't miss. I think they will make every possible move to go and get Deshaun Watson. I don't think it's going to happen. He's going to be a San Francisco 49er, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Because I have a lot of problem thinking that Cal McNair wants to lose to Deshaun Watson in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that if he sends him to a quality team that's being run correctly, so the Saints, the Dolphins, certainly with Flores, are on the way up. Mm-hmm. Right? I think that's why he doesn't want to do that. He's not going to send him to the Patriots. I would be shocked if that happened.
Right. Yeah.
I think the only AFC team that's really likely is the New York Jets.
Yeah.
And I think the Jets are more comfortable drafting a quarterback than they are giving away a haul on somebody that's known. Because the Jets have never been a team that goes out and splurges on free agents.
Well, and they've never been a team that makes good decisions. You know, I mean,
You're absolutely right.
So, like, listen. I hope for Deshaun's sake he winds up in San Francisco. I really do. I would love to see him. I want to see Deshaun Watson on a good team in the postseason with the game on the line. That's what I want to see. I want to see him go out and prove to everybody that he deserves to be in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in this league. Not because right now,
man, that's such a tough conversation.
Love it or hate it, though. Like for Deshaun, he is not regarded as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's a really good guy.
But I think it's because people don't watch the Houston Texans.
I would agree. Yes.
And I think that's why, if you look at what's going on in Houston right now, they're going to lose Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt in the same offseason. Let that sink in. J.J. Watt, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, J.J. Watt, one of the best citizens you could ever have on your football team, J.J. Watt is going to leave Houston.
Yeah.
And
he's a free agent?
Yeah, and they're going to hold the door open for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. And the other thing that's interesting about the Deshaun Watson conversation, how many quarterbacks are you actually going to find like this guy?
Not many.
So is
not
it
in
really,
the draft or in the league?
Is it really that much of a stretch to give up a bunch of draft picks for him?
No, it's not. Especially in my opinion, if you're a team like the 49ers, who if you pick him up, you're instantly back in the Super Bowl conversation, in my opinion. But, again, you still have to go out and play games.
I don't think it's a stretch at all. And people, maybe this goes back to the Wall Street open your own business conversation thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to win, you got to have a quarterback.
Have to.
Is there any better example of that than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Who's going to the Super Bowl? Yep.
Right? I mean, Tom Brady has transformed their beliefs.
Patrick Mahomes has transformed their beliefs.
But even more than that, because I feel like Kansas City built a team around Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. They did. Absolutely, they did.
But Patrick was the finishing touch on that. If you look at the Houston Texans, they've never done that. If you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got Tom Brady, and they used Tom Brady to go out and get Rob Gronkowski, to go out and get Antonio Brown, to get guys that are difference makers.
Right.
So Tom Brady, they leveraged Tom to get other pieces that have now put them in to the Super Bowl. And on top of that, what else has it done? It's made guys like Tyler Brait. It's made guys like Mike Evans. It's made guys like Leonard Fournette and Rojo and everybody else on that team. Tom Brady makes the defense better.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has made everybody better. He has elevated the expectation. That's what Deshaun Watson could do for you in San Francisco.
Yeah.
George Kittle becomes a better player because Deshaun Watson's there.
Mm-hmm.
The running backs, and they got to figure out their running back situation, but the running backs become better running backs because you have to worry about Deshaun Watson on defense.
Mm-hmm.
He makes everybody better. So giving up 3 first-round picks to get him, I'm probably going to do that.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
They're going to ask for multiple ones. They're going to ask for that.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to get it.
Yeah.
Right? So I say to the Chicago Bears, I'm begging you, go and do it. I am begging you to go and do it.